Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, welcome to another episode of the Chaps Chat Cats, a part of the Hoops Crew Media Network. My name's Jake, and I'm joined in the virtual studio by the one and only Mr. Johnny Larkin. How are you, John Doe?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Feeling pretty
Still basking in the
excited
glow
about
of
the
Thursday night.
weekend. Most definitely. Most definitely basking in that glow. We'll continue to do so for the next few days, next few weeks. So, just another prelim, another one, another chance to make a grand final. And everyone, I do laugh at everyone going, you've made it another grand prelim, but how many grand finals have you made? It's like, well,
6.
I'm giving ourselves a chance every year.
Gotta be in it.
You
Gotta be in
gotta
it
be
to win
there
it.
to actually have a go. That's what the Cats are doing. But we're not here to talk about that game. We're not here to talk men.
No.
We're here to talk the women's game tomorrow.
That's right. The AFLW Clash Round 2. The men's season is just sort of winding towards the pointy end. The women's season is just underway. Obviously, the Cats lost round 1 in a bit of a thrilling heartbreaker. 2 points, 42-40. They went down to the D's at Kardinia Park. But they've got a chance at redemption this weekend, a chance to kickstart the campaign with their first W of it, and that is when they go and play the Kangaroos, believe up at Arden Street Oval for round 2. Geelong, Johnny, they have never beaten the Kangaroos in the AFLW. So this is a massive chance for the Cats to make a bit of history and chalk up a first 4 points. So we're going to talk all of that. And then as part of our extended Patreon subscriber show, we're going to duck over and do our Patreon match predictions. This is where we predict things like who we think will score the most goals or have the most disposals, etc. And then the following, the recap episode, we hold ourselves to account. Who got closest to the pin? Sambo had an absolutely brilliant round last week. You and he both cleaned up. I don't think I got a single one right. So I'm looking to put the ledger right. So if you want that, go on over, subscribe to the Hoops Crew on Patreon. One last thing though, Johnny, before we tuck in to this AFLW feast of football, we've got to say a big Hoops Crew Media Network thank you to our Hoops Crew Media Network sponsor, Cyril Cook Florist. They've jumped on board for the AFLW season and the men's finals and even already signed up through 2025. You can go to their website, www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au. That's Cook with an E. You can phone them up on 035 222 2244. Or, Johnny, if you want to avail yourself of a discount, you go on over to their shop, Shop 12, 11 Leather Street, Breakwater, and say, hey, I'm coming here because the Hoops Crew, sent me. I'm a Hoops Crew listener. I'd like to make use of the discount, please, when you're in store. 20% off for our listeners, for our viewers. So if you've been thinking about buying someone special a nice bunch of flowers, why don't you toddle on over and make yourself, just give yourself the gift of a 20% discount from our great network sponsor. All right, let's tuck into it, Johnny. It's time. It's time. It is the Cats v Kangaroos round 2 preview. As I mentioned before, we're going into this match against a team we've never beaten, John. Last year it was down at Kardinia Park and it was a low-scoring game. I think it might have been round 3, round 2 or 3. And I think we lost about 24-20 or something like that. It was a game. It was a nail biter. They got over the line against us again. What's your general thoughts and vibe check going into this match?
Bit of nerves, bit of excitement. Hoping to see a good turnaround by the Cats. Not they had a bad game last week, but just fresh it up on a few little things here and there throughout the game. Just a few skill errors, but overall, I'm pretty excited for this game. I do think we're in for a good chance. We took it right up to Melbourne. probably could have won that game if we just, as I said, just tidied up a few things here and there that just, it's nothing major. It's just like those little skill errors that you make in your first game after 9 months off um, from the last
Mm.
season. Teams that everyone pulls up a bit different. Everyone gets a bit ready a bit differently. So Melbourne just got that little bit prettier than us and made a few of those mistakes. So yeah, I'm ready for this game, and I think we're gonna hopefully, fingers crossed, pull out a really good win and get the season running in good fashion. It's a tough start of a 3-week period where we don't play a home game. So to get this one done, beating North Melbourne for the first time away from home, be massive. Be a massive win.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we talked about in some of the season preview stuff that like it's important to get your first month off to a good start. You don't want to go to say 1-3. You
No.
definitely don't want to go 0-4. That's obvious. So like the reality is for the Cats, if they go and have a loss in this game, then you're sort of I don't know how like you're stuck then at needing to win your next two, which is massive.
Yeah.
Like you go
Yeah.
from potentially being 1-1. Now you're 0-2. Now you're having to win out your month. So it's kind of crucial, I think, Johnny, to try and even up the ledger here. Um,
Yeah.
so let's get into some of the stuff like team selection. I think Geelong can do it, John. I should say that. I think the Cats
Oh,
can
yeah,
do it.
definitely.
Uh, but it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge, and my sort of the memory of playing the Roos that's burnt into my mind is us bombing it long and their backline defenders just mopping it up, intercepting and launching an attack. And it's just
Yeah.
like you're just kicking the ball against a wall. So we have to be smarter. We have to come with a different plan, or at least if the plan is to go long still, we have to make use of a much improved personnel. We have to hope that it's going to be on players like Kate Darby, Aisling Maloney to be able to either take that mark or bring it to ground. But to be honest, I'd like to see a switch up in approach. I don't want to see us, die by the same sword again. So I'll be interested to
No.
see. Let's jump into the team selection, Johnny, because there has been a change to the lineup this week. Um, just the one change at selection, and that is the omission of Georgie Rankin and the inclusion of Brooke Plummer. So the side lines up like this. You've got Chantal Eamonson and Claudia Gunjaka down back, Becky Webster, Meg McDonald, Megatron, and Rachel Monty Kearns across the half-back line. We've got the centre line of Zali Friswell, Georgie Prasparkas, and Michaela Bowen. Half forwards, Julia Crockett-Grills, Jackie Parry, Kate Sermon, Aisling Maloney, and Kate Kenny. That all Irish full forward line. The followers, Kate Darby, Amy McDonald, and Nina Morrison. And then the interchange, Brooke Plummer, Gabby Featherston, Shelley Scott, Darcy Maloney, and Anna Rose Kennedy. Johnny, Georgie Rankin being out, obviously
Yep.
an interesting one. We wouldn't have felt that she had the biggest impact, but do you think this is more of a case of Geelong trying to get some of that run and dash and carry off half back that we've lost with Rachel Kearns being out injured? Oh no, well, there's one minute she's pulled up. Why did I
She's
think she was
fine. Yeah.
injured?
I have
She
no
was
idea.
injured. Well, she
She
was
was,
injured.
but
She
she's
went to
fine.
hospital with a rib injury. All right, so do you think it's just a matter of wanting more of that? I mean, that's what Brooke Plummer brings to the side is that sort of run
It
and dash and long kicking.
must be. It must be because, yeah, there's a lot of run and dash plays in there already. So maybe they just want to bring that extra. Maybe, and Brooke Plummer does have that little bit of extra composure around her. Like when she was playing last year, you could really see that composure really settling in. So I think, yeah,
Mm.
bring her in. It's an interesting choice to leave Rankin out to bring Plummer in, but maybe it's just that fact of bringing in the extra another runner that can run both ways and impose herself a bit more because she's also got that good tackling sense as well. Knows where how to read the play really well as well. So but maybe it's just also could just be giving Rankin a rest before
Mm,
this 3 week away period. We'll never know. It's could be a tactical thing, could just be a form thing where Rankin didn't
mm.
perform at the level that she was expected to, and maybe Brooke Plummer's just been ready for a little while to come back into this side and cement a spot. So yeah, I think hopefully it won't. I don't think it'll make massive difference to the game, but hopefully it does in a
Mm.
good way.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope to see some impact from it. We talked about on the recap show that, we probably didn't get the impact out of Megatron and
Mm,
um Georgie Rankin that we would have liked to see in game one. I think they had maybe 10 disposals between them. Didn't take a mark. I think that was an important part of it. Didn't take a mark between them.
yeah,
So, um, but I think part of it is having a bit more speed down back. Sambo made the point watching the North v Brisbane mini match last weekend when we did our early look ahead that, Brisbane have a lot of North Melbourne have a lot of speed in that front half. So maybe it's just a matter of that. We want to get as many quick, uh, fast paced defenders back there to try and combat that. And I like Brooke Plummer's ability to hurt North going back the other way. Still cannot
yeah.
believe that I literally went through the whole team lineup, read out Rachel Kern's name, and then went to make a point about do you think this is like, a move because we're going to miss the impact of Rachel Kearns. I don't know. I've just gone into this game all week um, thinking we're going to have to play without one of, what I think, Rachel Kearns developing into one of our very best, most dangerous weapons down back. And I've
Yeah,
somehow had a massive brain fart. I've recorded about 7 billion podcasts this week, John.
who knows?
So
Like,
hopefully you'll forgive me that one.
I'll forgive you that. I'm not sure about our listeners. They may be a bit more harsher on you, but it
That's right.
happens. It happens. She's playing. Cairns is playing.
Kians. Yeah,
So it's
that's
good
right.
to see her out there.
Absolutely. Obviously we're glad to see her out there. We want to see her out there. And that leads us,
Yes.
John, in a very professional segue to what we want to see
Oh,
besides
a
Rachel
win,
Kearns playing.
obviously.
Look at that. Yeah, a win, a first win.
A win would
Do you
be
have like other like
glorious.
do you think
Yeah,
it
I
is
just
like a thing, Johnny? Do you think this is now in our heads a bit? The fact that we've never beaten this team, do you think it starts to build into a bit of a stigma, or do you think they don't think about it at all?
you'd it'd be one of those classical, answers of going, yeah, it'll be back of the mind, in the back of the mind for sure. They'll be thinking about this and all that. I'll just say, yeah, absolutely, it'll be in their mind going, we haven't beat this team yet. It would absolutely stick in your mind every time you see the draw. Going, when do we play this team we've never beaten? And I think it could be one of those things of it could be a driving force of going, yeah, this is a team we're going up against that we've never beaten. We can really take it to them and nail them and push them into the ground and show them what we're made of. Or it could also
Mm,
be one of those other ones where if you think about it too much, if you focus too much on it, it'd be one of those negative ones where it's just like, oh, we just don't know how to beat this team. We just can't beat them. And it comes into that thing of you just, no matter how good you are, you could just revert back to we're not good enough to beat this team because we've never beaten them. I don't reckon it'll be happen to this team, to the lasses going out this weekend, tomorrow. I think they're a lot
mm,
more professional, a lot more sure of mind and will to be able to forget about that and just focus on the game and get hopefully a really good win. Big win, big win. It's a big chance to put a big statement on the competition and North Melbourne and themselves as well. But what I just want to see the Cats put in another really good fight. Just continuing on with that pressure, the contest, the tackling, get the ball moving quickly. and try and limit the mistakes, and then also not let North Melbourne, get out the back and get those easy goals like they did against Brisbane. I think if you can limit their ability to get the sneaky goals that that are at the back of the pack, then I think that's a
Mm.
fairly sizable chunk of North Melbourne's goals, the avenue to goal. So if the Cats can keep it to the front, take those marks, and just remain in the fight, remain contested, bring the pressure,
Mm.
we'll have put ourselves in for a good chance to win this game. So yeah, it's just about bring the pressure, bring the contest, not letting North Melbourne use the ball like they seem to able to do it really well against Brisbane, and just make them accountable for what they do with the ball.
I really like that, Johnny. Something that I'd really like, something I don't want to see. So it's kind of a bit of a, the opposite of what I want to see. It's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see this. Emma Kearney, last time we played, 12 intercept possessions to lead the game. Now, we had plenty of our own. Claudia Gunjaka had 10, Meg McDonald 7 for Chantal Eamonson, and 6 for Georgie Rankin. But I just feel like they really do feed on it. Like, if you don't use the ball smartly, I feel like this is a game where Geelong either need to be patient by foot or attack with the handball.
Yeah,
I just don't want to see this thing. Like, keep the ball moving quickly. That's what I want to see. And we've done that before. This Geelong team, where we've just kept it moving at pace and backed our foot skills. And I'd like to see more of that. But that, just don't succumb to that, like, long kick. Try and hit the
yeah,
leads, and that too is on our forwards to lead well. It's on Jackie Parry. It's on, Aisling Maloney to try and make those leads. That means we can hit up a target that's a bit more shallow. If we bomb it long, they are gonna intercept it, and they're gonna
yeah.
turn it back around and attack us. So I suppose that's another thing that you'd like to see, is if we are forced to kick it long, which on occasion we may have to, then it's absolutely paramount that players like Aisling Maloney, Kate Darby, Kate Kenny, Jackie Parry, if they can't mark it, bring it to ground. Make sure that North don't get it under control. But primarily, I'd like to see this be a game where we can control the footy a bit more. If that means to chip it
Oh, yeah,
around a bit occasionally, do so. Make North defend
yeah,
space as often as possible, but don't let us come out of this game again having gone down exactly the same way, because it's so frustrating. It's the same. It feels like the same way we get beaten every time by them. It's just
yeah.
going down, playing exactly into their hands. Let's be smart. Let's use our heads. Oh,
Absolutely,
all right.
definitely. Use that head. Don't
Uh,
don't be predictable. Got to be unpredictable. Use the short kicks inside 50 as well. Lower them
yeah,
eyes. It's one of the other big ones.
yeah. And you saw that, at times last season where, the Essendon game stands out to me, when we went and played them down at
Yeah,
Warrnambool, where we just kept, I went back and pulled some screenshots of that game for our recap pod at the time, where, we've got players streaming through the middle of the ground, running in towards their defensive 50, and we're just bombing it. And you look back at the replay, and there's Chloe Shear and Aisling Maloney sitting like 40 out, you know, on the lead, and we're just kicking
yeah,
over their heads. Like, if we do, I mean, if you do that against anyone, you're doomed. I mean, it just doesn't
yeah.
really tend
Exactly.
to work. Hit up short targets,
The
particularly
only
inside 50.
Yeah, the only teams that you could get away with that is a brand new team that's just come to competition that's still finding their feet
Yeah,
and still finding their way. But the only new team that's going to come in is Tasmania, and that is not for another 4 years. If the women's team comes in with the men's team, which you'd you'd think it would happen,
I
like
think
it'd be
that's
pretty
yeah, I think that's
silly
how
not
it's
to.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's all lined up to happen at once. I'm sure I
Yeah.
read something about that. But,
So
all
yeah,
right,
like,
that's all
not
from
going to
us.
get that luxury. Not going to get
No,
like luxury
no.
against a well-oiled North Melbourne that's still burning after last year's grand final loss. So they're a very dangerous team, and we've got to be smart. That's the word, smart.
It's kind of terrifying how badly they mauled Brisbane, and then you see, I think Brisbane
Yeah.
went and had a massive win. Was it they beat the D's? They crushed the D's overnight, was
Yeah,
it?
they
I was just trying to think.
absolutely have a look. Get the
70 to
fixture up.
something, I think. I'm sure I saw a big result
Um,
for Brisbane
30,
over.
33 to 15. The
Oh, is
71
that all?
was
Okay, so it was the lowest scoring.
the Scum versus Collingwood.
Oh, the Scummers. All right.
Yeah.
That's all from us on this preview pod, at least for the public part of the show. If you want to come over with us and do our Patreon match predictions, then you're going to have to go over onto the Hoops Crew Patreon, sign up for your 7-day free trial. That's right. You can get a 7-day free trial. So you can give it a little test drive before you, hand over your credit card and pay us that little monthly membership. Come and check it out.
Please
All
do.
right. That's
It's
all.
fun.
That's right. We're trying to hit 30 subscribers is the number we're trying to get to. We're currently at 27. So if there's 3 people out there currently listening or watching who go, you know what? I've been listening to the Chaps and the Hoops Crew for a couple of years, love their content. Come on. Be that trio of people who puts us over the line to get to the 30 mark before the end of the year. We'd love it. We'd
We'll
absolutely
love you for life.
love it. All right, that's all. We're going to play you out, as we always do in this part of the show, with our favorite 4-legged friend, the halftime horse. Johnny, thanks for jumping in with me. And until next time,
Thank you.
go Cats!
Go Cats!
You get your cordial, you get your lollies, a spray from the coach. Lollies, absolutely. So you get your cordial, you get your lollies, a spray from the coach. Lollies, absolutely.
That's what halftime's about.